Hello everyone, I'm OCDsaster, and this is OCDsaster Blue, my Sonic exclusive channel where everything we do here is Sonic related. So if that sounds like something your speed, consider subscribing and checking out some other videos after this one. In today's video, we are going to be discussing the Rivals mechanic in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. I have a lot of thoughts and a lot of opinions, so let's get right into it. In a previous video before Sonic CrossWorlds officially released, I talked about unlocking characters and how I love to unlock rosters in video games such as Super Smash Bros., where there's different conditions in order to unlock characters. Unfortunately, Sonic Racing CrossWorlds does not have unlockable characters except for Super Sonic. To unlock Super Sonic, you have to complete every single rival, so you have to defeat all 22 of the main roster characters, defeat them, and you will get Super Sonic, which is a nice little addition, but Super Sonic can only be used in the Grand Prix mode anyway. I can get into that a little bit later. I can do a whole video on what I think about Super Sonic. I want to talk about the rival system all together. Essentially how this works is when you start a Grand Prix race, or even go into the race park mode as well, that's a little bit different. But when you go into Grand Prix, you will see a rival screen pop up, and sometimes you can even choose between two different rivals, and they have a rival level. And I do have to say that the higher levels that these rivals are at, the more challenging they are to defeat. It can actually get quite challenging, especially if you're racing on the higher speeds past, the normal speed. You have like Sonic speed, Supersonic speed. Mirror mode is also a little bit challenging. So these are all different factors that go into how difficult a Rivals race is. And if you're playing a character that's from the main roster of those 22 characters, the Sonic crew I like to call it, as long as you're not free DLC characters or third-party DLC season pass characters, there's actually a little bit of bantering, a little bit of back and forth at the start of the race between the characters, which is a really nice touch, depending on who you're playing as and who your rival is. And this, of course, was leaked well before the game even released, which was a bit annoying, but you know how it is on the state of the internet. If people can get their hands on something and just spoil things early, they will. Anyway, a lot of these interactions are great, they're sassy, and a just wonderful addition to the game. While you're racing these rivals, they'll even have things that they're saying. They'll be taunting back and forth. They, especially if they're in front of you or you pass them, these are really nice touches to the game, and I really, really enjoy it. However, I do have to say there is some missed opportunities with the rival system. I think it would have been great for you to unlock characters by beating them in races. Now, I get a lot of people have their own favorite Sonic characters, and they'd be kind of disappointed if, for example, Shadow was locked at the beginning of the game, but I think it would be really, really rewarding if you play as Sonic and your rival is Shadow, and you actually have to defeat Shadow in order to play as him. So you would start out with a very small roster and then keep unlocking characters as you defeat them in the, Rivals mechanic. And I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this, but I think that was a really good layup that Sonic Team Sega just kind of missed. Or even when that initial Rivals screen pops up, where it shows a character and then sometimes it shows another one at a higher level, the one at the higher level will always be a character that you don't have unlocked yet. So you can choose to either go against the one that you already have in your mainline roster, or you can choose the higher difficulty one knowing that if you beat them, you can unlock them. I think this would have added a whole new level to this game and really made it feel rewarding when you beat these characters. Now, they do have other rewarding systems, such as the Dampa tickets. You'll unlock gear and gadgets. You level up your plates to put in more gadgets and gears. There's stuff here that you can do, but it just, the character aspect of it is missing. The roster just seems a little bit lackluster to me. Or maybe even, this might be a little bit too difficult to program, I'm not quite sure. You don't even get to pick who your rival is. You go in going against the rival you see on screen that you already have unlocked in your roster, but as you get ready to start the race, there's a third person that just shows up and starts taunting everyone. So say you're Sonic and your rival is Tails. You enter the race and start doing your banter, but then all of a sudden, Shadow appears and does some little quick comment to the both of you. So now, not only do you have to beat Tails, but you have to beat an even harder level rival, Shadow, but doing so, you unlock Shadow. I understand I might just be talking to a brick wall at this point because the game's already released and they're not going to go back and change their mechanics. I just kind of wanted to give my ideas on how I think the rival system could be improved a little bit more. I don't think there's necessarily anything bad with it. I think it's fine for what we got, but just as I was playing this game for hours on end and grinding through unlocking Supersonic, that's what came to mind. So I really want to know, what do you guys think of the rival system? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think it's fine? Do you think that there's another way they could have handled it? Let me know down in the comments. The last thing I really want to touch on is unlocking that Supersonic, because I think it ends up falling under the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate umbrella. In a previous video, I mentioned unlockables and how Super Smash Bros. Has the best way to unlock characters and the worst way. The best being Melee, where you could do multiple different conditions to unlock characters to switch things up. But in Ultimate, it was a big grind to get all of the characters. I think this is more of a grind to get Supersonic than everything, because there's not enough cups. There's not as many Grand Prix to race as there are rivals. So you're redoing a lot of the Grand Prix to get that quota of 22 rivals. And yes, the rival difficulty and levels go up and become more and more challenging, but it does end up being more of a grind and a chore. Once I got through, like, I would say 15 of the rivals, I was like, man, I gotta do this all over again and again and again, and it just, my motivation kind of went down, and it took me a while. I think Supersonic was one of the last things I completed for this game due to the lack of motivation. Also because Supersonic isn't really that special. I'm sorry guys, but he isn't. You can only play as Supersonic in Grand Prix. And the thing with Supersonic is he's invincible to attacks, which could be fun on paper, but there's really no challenge then when you're playing as him. You just have to make sure you're going really, really fast and taking turns correctly. In previous Sonic racing games, not all of them, but a lot of them made Supersonic seem really special. And I understand that for, online play, it would be kind of busted to have him in it, but why not have it as a cosmetic? I know a lot of people would only play as Supersonic at that point, but that should be fun. That should be a, bonus for beating all of the rivals. But that is just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you like Supersonic in this game? Do you think they could have done more, could have done less? I really want to hear other people's thoughts. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I have tons of other Sonic exclusive videos here on the channel, so be sure to check some out. They're not all CrossWorlds. It's Sonic in general, Shadow, anything within the Sonic realm. I talk about the Sonic Movie 4 in some videos, so go ahead to the channel page and scroll to your heart's content. I'm OCDsaster, and I hope you have a super Sonic rest of your day. See ya!